All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody had a blessed and wonderful weekend. Definitely was a little wild out there, so we're starting to see a little bit of that in the futures. But everybody had a blessed and wonderful weekend. Bit. So today we're going to be starting a new topic. So we're going to be talking about day trading ABCs. And today we're actually going to be talking about an A pattern. So pretty cool. So before we do that, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, let's take a look and see where we left off in the market last month, or this month, really. But tomorrow starts June, so the monthly chart is over for SPX, if you guys can believe it. What a month! What a last 2 months! As we've recovered about halfway from the Corona crash, and pretty amazing recovery it was, right? Because we talked about the 50 monthly moving average, right? What a key line that was, right? This red moving average right here for really telling whether or not we're getting into bear market territory. And it's just an amazing line, right? You can see, I mean, this corresponds to the dot-com crash, the financial bubble crash, and right now the Corona crash. We only got under it for a little bit here, right? And so we ended up popping up over it. We held the macro trend line since 2009, and we held the cloud and the lower Bollinger Band. And so we're actually above the mid Bollinger Band here on the monthly chart. And we took last month, right, in April was an inside month, and we took that inside month up. So we'll see if we get a little more follow through on that into June here. Don't forget June, fresh flows could be coming in, right, from institutions, pension funds, things like that. So we'll see if we get some action in the first 3 days of the month. So it should be an interesting week. Lots of economic data coming out. Of course, we have some stuff that inner turmoil here within the country that's going on. So we'll see how that all plays out. So that's the monthly chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So last week we got above the 30 weekly moving average, right? We talked about this key moving average here in the weekly chart as being changing composure line. Right, so we talked about that in our series on the profiting in bull and bear markets, and just a really interesting line. Right, we got through below it here with this inside candle, Harami cross, which brought it to the downside. Corona crash down, and then we hit the RSI oversold level right here with a bullish engulfing candle, and worked our way back up here to 30 weekly moving average. So let's see how it handles. Wouldn't be surprised if we did get a little pullback right here before we worked our way back up, but we could work sideways, or the way this market is with now the Fed, just buying ETFs. So we'll see if this can continue to work its way up, fill this open gap up here, and who knows, maybe get to all-time highs. So we've got that going on. Daily chart, we held the 200-day moving average. A lot of back and forth last week, right? We had a red candle, right, on Tuesday. Right, it was a short week last week. Hammer. Got back above the 200 moving average, pushed above it, right, upper shadow, pulled back in, retested it along with the 8 EMA, and then finished with a hammer on Friday. So defending that, holding the upward trend line, and continuing to be bullish until proven otherwise, and still room to go on the RSI if it wants to continue to work its way up. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at the price action on Friday. So it was pretty wild morning, right? So we had a epic drop down the night before. Futures were kind of flattish, a little bit down, right? Upper shadow filled the gap, the closing gap right here, came back down below the 15 orb. Gave you a nice reversal candle here, but failed to get above the 15 orb low. Came back down, retested those. We shorted right here off this inside 15 down, and it was a very, very fast move. We were able to grab some quick profit on that one, and it came back up. Just because they just bought that dip right there really, really fast. So that's, you got to be quick on the draw. We chopped around a little bit, and of course then we had the ominous China press conference right from the White House, and we had a quick move down on that, and then it just bounced to the upside. When you get a candle like this that engulfs almost the entire day within 15 minutes, you probably expect a little follow through to the upside. So a little follow through the upside there, and then we pushed up. So let's take a look. Here's the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens. So you can see how these levels were tested that day. This strong 5-minute candle here definitely indicated that it wanted to test the back to the daily pivot level. We chopped around there after that, and a little bit of a push into the close. So let's take a look and see how the S&P futures are looking this evening. So, oh my goodness, we're green. Amazing, guys. So pretty cool stuff. This is actually pretty cool. In our newsletter this weekend, we did a series a couple weeks ago on harmonics. We went ahead and wrote it all down and did a good newsletter for our group this weekend. And we actually did a butterfly pattern here. These patterns work great. We talked about these work great into levels. So we had a butterfly pattern right here into a resistance zone. And we're looking for some follow through to the downside at the open of the futures session tonight. And we sure got that with a big gap down and a push down, right? So now the futures are working their way back up. So amazing. We're just green a second ago. So let's see how it holds right that, right? So we've got a fresh high here, fresh trend line. So let's see how this holds in the evening. You can look at this potential channel on the way up and see if we can fill this gap tonight as the plunge protection team is back at it. So let's see if they continue to rally this thing up and see how we handle these levels again going in tomorrow if they decide to bring it up that high. So good stuff. All right, well, let's take a look and talk about our topic this week. So today we're going to be talking, this week we're going to be talking about day trading ABCs. So today we're going to be talking about an A pattern. So what do we mean by that? What's an A pattern? So an A pattern is in the context of an uptrend, right? And a lot of times it's sort of like this right here. You get this really, really big push up, and then you get a sharp move down, like what happened here this evening in the futures. But with the A pattern, right, we expect a rally to go up, and then we expect a shortable move after that. So we'll see actually how this behaves in terms of an A pattern here just on the 5-minute chart. But a lot of times we see this in the context of a daily chart. So let's go to a couple examples. What are examples of A patterns that we've seen recently? These are the fun ones, right? So these are your Tilray. Right, let's go to the daily chart. Okay, so if we go back here on the daily, if you all remember Tilray not too long ago, right? This is these are these big hype moves. And so let me go back. Let me clean this chart up a little bit for everybody here. Let's go there and there, and then let's get a clean chart here, and then right. So this is when pot stocks started getting really big, right? So what is this? This is a big A. Okay, so ultimately it's like this, right? And so let's see how big I can make this. Hold on. Let's see if I can make this like 120, something crazy. All right, I can't. It's not making it that big right here, but the idea is that you can essentially draw anytime you have these crazy spikes. Right, we were in the context of an uptrend, right, and then we really started to push like around here, right. So you have this and this. Okay, so there's your A, right, the letter A. Okay, and so when we get to the point where this crazy breakout occurs, right, and you get back to this level. The base of the A pattern. Now, a lot of times we could look to short a rally, which we saw here was shortable, another rally here, which was shortable. But look how important the base of this A was, right? So you could see here, and then even if you brought it back down here later, right, this breakout level. So you could see here, big push up, right? Once you got to the bottom of the A, right, you had a shortable opportunity there off of that. Right, then we rallied, that was shortable, rallied, that was shortable. Look what happened, we got back to the base of the A pattern, right? That was also shortable. It happened again here, and then once we got to this base, look how shortable this was. Boom, nice move that came up and tested it. Boom, another shortable move on that. So it's an A topping pattern, okay? So we saw that on Tilray. What else have we seen this on recently? Beyond, right? Any of these crazy stock names that get these crazy rallies, right? So let's go to Beyond. So Beyond gave an A pattern as well. And you can see here, right, it was a big move to the upside here. You can look at it a couple different ways. Right, so we had this to this level right here. And you can see how important that level was once it broke down here. That was a shortable move. Also, rallies are shortable into that zone. So you could look at this consolidation zone right here as the bottom of an A pattern, right, a larger A pattern. Okay, so once we got to that level, look how shortable that was. Very shortable. Look at that rally back to that level. Shortable, right? And now we're back to that level again. So now the real question is it going to be short? Well, it was a little bit, right? A couple days ago, it was consolidation to the downside, and then we pushed down on that one. So we see this a lot, right? And not a lot, but we see this in a lot of these hype names that go up. And you can see it a lot in different futures markets, different commodities, things like that. Another one too, obviously, was Tesla recently. That gave a parabolic move up. I mean, if you kind of look here, you had this was just a parabolic move, right? But even if you look here, is this A pattern right here, you can see how shortable it was through those levels. Boom, nice move down, came back, rallied, and then it was shortable again. And we're back to these levels right here. So we'll see how this holds going through these recent moves. And Tesla should be interesting going into tomorrow, right? We had an inside day on Thursday, and we pushed above that pretty strong on Friday. We had a nice breakout move on Friday on Tesla. right? You can see here, right, pulled back here to your 15-orb high and then really launched. A lot of stocks, of course, did this, but this was strong anyway intraday, right, as it got out of this triangle pattern for a nice move up. And so we're going to see, right? So Tesla pushed it up again after hours a little bit late, and of course they launched the SpaceX launched their shuttle this weekend on Saturday. They weren't able to do it last week, and so it was a little bit choppy through there. So let's see if we get some hype on that one, especially if the futures go green tonight. Tesla could see a pretty big gap up. Just that huge sort of positivity and that confidence in the company and the leadership could give it that move up. So we'll see how that goes into this week. So that's the A pattern, guys. ABCs, sometimes it's as easy as that. So I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can all get a good night's sleep out of another awesome trading week and an awesome trading month in June. So good stuff. So we had a few in by email. So Shirley, thanks again. You sent in a few good ones right here. You sent in a lot, but we picked out a few I think that are relevant to discuss here this week. So let's take a look and see how that's going here. So the first one on the list is D. If we're talking about ABCs, D. Brought to you by the letter D. So cool. So some of these utility stocks started to get some strength this week, right? So I really like Dominion here. I love the this cup and handle pattern right here, and a nice breakout move, a nice candle on Thursday, and then a strong close above that on Friday. So let's keep an eye on that one and see how that goes into tomorrow. But if the utilities remain strong, D is definitely one to look at. There's also Southern Company, SO, which is an interesting one to look at as well. In fact, let's take a look and see how that closed too. Yeah, so again, some strength here as it's coming out of the cloud, and some good volume on Friday here in some of the utilities. So good stuff there. Zynga, guys, this was a super strong day for Zynga. This is pretty cool. I love it when we've drawn these fib fan lines, right? We drew it from this base to this peak right here. Look how well this played out. We got right to it here. Now this one, let's give it like 2 days and see if it, and obviously it could push to the upside and continue farther, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of consolidation. But if it wants to keep going up, maybe 2 days pull back and we can see another push to the upside on that one. But definitely bullish here until proven otherwise. Work. So work looking pretty good finally, right? So work is so funny, right? It just gets real choppy, sloppy, and then it moves, and then it gets choppy, sloppy, and then it moves. So we got a nice move on Friday. We got earnings coming up on this one, so keep an eye on that one. Bullish till proven otherwise. ZS, huge gap and go, guys. And why was this a gap and go? Right, we've talked about this a few times, right? So it got over this major pivot level, right? Got over the major pivot level there, and then what's the other key element that we look for in gap and goes? We need to clear the pre-market levels, and it did that here. It did that here in the morning, right? So it pushed nicely through it, came back inside candle, held that 8 moving average, got through your 15 orb high, and then drifted up through the rest of the day. And even in that nasty pullback that we saw through the press conference, barely budged on that one. So nice follow through on ZS off of its gap and go move. And then Lulu, super strong, guys. I don't know what to say, just super duper strong. I mean, ascending triangle going on here. Another breakout here today, barely pulled back, held the 8 EMA the whole way, and had a nice move up. And look at the beautiful candle and chart here on Lulu. So still big volume, working its way up, over $300, huge level. Let's see if it holds. Okay, it might consolidate a little bit for a couple days, and Lulu tends to do that. But sometimes when it's ready to go, it's ready to go. So good stuff. Great, thank you, Shirley. Rocky, thanks for tuning in. CGen. So yeah, great candle on Friday for CompuGen. Nice candle right there, great volume. Right, still within the choppy zone, but it looks like it wants to try to go for those highs. So let's see if it can do that. ADAP, big candle, right? So let's see if this starts to form an A pattern, right? I would look for a breakout over to these highs, and then then see if it gives you like a big red upper shadow or something like that for a pullback. Nice find on those. And then X. Still not ready yet, guys, but it is forming a nice cup and handle pattern. So let's just wait for a breakout candle. Let's see if we can get over that level for for some more movement to the upside. ZEK, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. AOBC. Let's take a look. Yeah, wow, really nice one for American Outdoor. Great candle, great volume the last couple days. I like the move right there. Let's see if we get some follow through the upside. MBRV. Huge candle. I love it. Penny stock, but it broke out of the cloud. I like it. Inside day up, hold it over the cloud. Let's see if we can get up to the 200-day moving average on that one. And then NEM. keep an eye on these guys, folks. So NEM, big inside day there, but with all the turmoil that's going on, a lot of people, might be turning back to safety in some of the gold names. So great find there. The Nest, yeah, Etsy. Let's take a look. How you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Yeah, Etsy, nice move up right there. Good volume. So let's even kind of go back up and try to test that 88 level. Tilray, again, we looked at the A pattern on that one, but again, we talked about these pot stocks, right? Still didn't really get close above or handle this level right here, right? So at this point, right, it's just kind of pullbacks holding the 80 MA. So see how well it holds that going into the next couple days. Cake, restaurants open up. Try to get some move, right? Nice breakout candle right here, good volume, but couldn't push above it on Thursday, and then pulled back down below the downward trend line last week. But nice tracking on that one. AAXN, decent reversal candle there, but still range bound, so just be careful with that. And LMNX, Elemento, the Elemento, right? We're talking about the alphabet. Still below the 50-day moving average, but nice bounce off the cloud. Matt, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, hey, glad to have you here, right? So let's get back, it's like forget all the nonsense that's going on there and look at some charts, right? So Boeing, great move the other day. It started to break out. It had this Dragonfly Doji here, gave a great gap up on Thursday, and then it just gave it all back, right? And they get some follow through the downside. Now we're at a spinning top right here. I mean, really the reality is that Boeing's got a lot of issues, right? So the reason it was gapping up is that they started making their 737 MAX again, but the reality is that nobody cares because it's junk, right? And airlines are still grounded for the most part, so nobody's buying, right? So let's see how that holds. And so Boeing might be in for a long haul struggle right here unless it can give us a big breakout candle somewhere. So good stuff. mRNA. Interesting how mRNA had that huge move up. See that big gap up right here? Had this huge move up on that a couple Mondays ago about finding the cure to Corona, et cetera, et cetera. And then it was just riddled with bad news after that. Did an offering right after it. Science, said like lots of science journals were saying responses to it was like the testing was inadequate and all that stuff. So it did drop pretty significantly off of that, but it just bounced off the 50-day moving average and it came right back to the 8. So let's see how it holds those levels. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. So again, inside day on Thursday, broke to the upside here with some good volume on Friday. It's right at this geometric line, so let's see if we can break out above that tomorrow on this space launch news. They drove a Tesla up to the shuttle, right? So let's see how it goes and get some more hype on it, and might be some momentum on that one. Let's see how that goes on that. And then of course Roku. Roku's kind of hanging in there. I love how the 50 moving average is curling its way up right here, bounce off the cloud, right? It's coming back into its macro trend box, this original breakdown box right here. So let's see how that holds the resistance. We had a doji right at the 50 days, so we still have a thin cloud right here. So let's see how all that holds. It's kind of a tricky area right here for Roku. I'll see what's going on. Nutanix. So we had earnings the other day, and really didn't do too much off of that. So this is basically in the chop range right here. Inside day, this is sort of what we were looking at as a potential continuation here at the 200-day moving average. So let's see if we can get over 26 and see if we can hold there. Otherwise, let's see if we can defend this prior resistance level as potential support. Good stuff. Hope you had a great weekend. Prasad, what's going on? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. The Nest. We got a few more on there. Chegg. All right, so Chegg, nice move up here. Actually kind of gave this kind of rising wedge type pattern as it broke down here. Retest those levels and back down. So it's below the 80 MA, so let's see how that can hold. SSRM, inside day, below the 80, sandwiched between the 8 and the 21 moving averages. So let's see what that's up to there. LVGO. Inside day hammer with a rising 80 MA, so see if there's a follow to the upside on that one. CDLX. Nice engulfing candle on Friday, getting back over the cloud, so let's see if you can come back and test those levels above. ESTC. Nice inside day up on that one, and PIMS. Decent, right? So it's this one is kind of hanging in there. I know Twitter, right, got affected by social media stuff, but PIMS seem to be under the radar on that, so let's see if they can get some follow through the upside, fill this gap up here, and go for the 200-day. Good stuff. Dazzling Sensation, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at Zumba, yeah, great move, right? Earnings this week. So great move on Friday, bit of an earnings run move. I like how it got all these geometric levels with some good volume. So let's see if we can get some follow through the upside on Zoom into this week, into earnings. NVIDIA held its upward trend line like a champ and bounced off of that on Friday with some decent volume. Google, I've been trying to short this one, but it's not breaking down. So, big kind of cup handle pattern right here. Let's see if we can get a breakout candle off of that inside day on Friday. QCOM. Big inside day, but this is definitely one to keep an eye on to see if it has any strength. BKNG. I like that range right there on QCOM. BKNG came back, pulled back, filled the gap, holding the ADMA. So let's see if we can work its way back up off of that. And then, is this really? Dang. EGHT. Is that even a ticker? Inside day down on EGHT, but it did have a nice push the other day, right? There was a good move up here, so now it's just kind of testing this. Right? It's kind of range bound right here, so might be working on a macro bear flag, right? So just be careful with that if it breaks down through these geo levels right here. I don't know, it'd be pretty amazing to see that, but right now just consider it range bound. Good, and then Facebook. Let's take a look. Yeah, Facebook Doji Day at the ADMA. Right, lots of key levels right here. It's kind of a prior major pivot levels, right? So prior all-time highs right here. So it's kind of retesting those after its breakout, but it's been very strong, right? So it's coming out with a lot of new technology and features and stuff like that. So from video to shopping centers and all that stuff. So let's see how that holds, right? And it's got a lot of upward trend lines that it's over. So definitely something to keep an eye on right there. I see if you had GLD. So GLD, of course, gapping around, but held in strong, even with a strong rally in the market, too. So I know that one's been pretty strong as well. Let's take a look at the GC. Let's look at the gold futures and see how they're behaving this evening. So down a little bit here, but still kind of a doji. So let's see how that holds, and then just go from there into tomorrow. So, but yeah, look at those for potential strength. Good stuff, Bagish. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Costco with earnings on Friday. It barely moved, but it did leave a strong candle with good volume. So let's see if it can follow through to the upside on that one. Baba. So these ones, right? Watch out for the mega cap Chinese names, right? They did list on Hong Kong. Try to go more with the tensions here in the U.S. Inside day up on Friday, so let's see if that can get any follow to the upside. It's got some gaps above on that. Spotify after the Joe Rogan deal, big volume coming in. It's basically just holding one of these key breakout levels right now. Tight inside day on Friday, right at the ADMA. So see if that could break out one way or the other. And then Oracle. Oracle's looking pretty interesting, guys. It's been popping up on our radar a lot as intraday bullishness. So just kind of keep an eye right here. We got this geometrical over here, kind of a cup and handle-ish pattern. So look for a breakout candle and see if we can get some follow through on that one. So good stuff. Austin, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, great weekend. Let's do it this week. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Scott, what's going on? Snap. Yep, good. I'm glad you mentioned that because we were looking at pins a little bit ago. Snap is also trying to work its way up too. Good flow on Friday. So let's see if that gets some follow through to the upside. And what else? Good. Inkit, what's going on? Yep, BA. So BA is kind of just BA. We should put a BL, an L in the middle for blah. But it is holding the bottom of the cloud. And I like how all these moving averages just crossed over. So let's see if it can try to work its way up. But it needs to change the narrative a little bit. Right, Roku Doji Day at the 50 day, at the rising 50 day. So let's see if that works at all. Facebook over two major trend lines right here, under one. So, but it's holding the 80 MA. So see if it can work its way up a little bit on that. Disney hung on to the 80 MA as well after a little bit of a pullback to see if that can defend. And then JP Morgan. Again, same stuff right here. It had an epic squeeze this day, worked its way up, followed through the upside, found a little resistance right here, right, this prior pivot, came back off of it, filled the gap. So let's see if the market wants to be strong. Let's see if it tries to bounce off of holding that gap. So good stuff. It's got a ADPT, Adaptive Biotechnologies. Very interesting. Really tight right here. Kind of, it's definitely, trying to hold trend right here. So, bullish, right? Nice channel up. So see if that can continue to hold right there. Just be careful. It's a pharma-ish name. So biotech, always caution warranted there. Kev, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Amazonius. Let's take a look. Amazon doing nice right here. Actually holding some key levels. Really, we had a downtrend right here that it started as it broke down out of its trend box and it closed above it here on Friday with some good volume. So let's see if that can follow through the upside on Amazon. And DKNG. Yeah, this is the new hot one out there, right? So this is just really in a crazy uptrend right now. So let's see if that ends up turning into an A pattern. But right now it's really hot right now. So see how that goes. Again, hey, I know you mentioned this the other day. Great follow through on Friday. So that upper shadow ended up getting a tail fail to the upside. So there's definitely some interest in this one. Nice find. And then Penn. So as the gaming stocks go, this one's doing pretty well, right? So it had a really nice couple days up over the 200-day moving average, right? I like how the 50 moving average is rising up, so it might be consolidating here for a little bit for another push. It's good stuff. Govin, what's going on? Yeah, Zoom. So earnings this week on Zoom. Huge candle on Friday with some great volume. So let's see if it tries to do a little earnings run there for us. Venkata, what's going on? Bose, what's happening? So SPY. Good volume on Friday, right? So we got over the 200-day moving average into some resistance zone right here. We talked about that butterfly over the weekend in the newsletter, and we're looking at the futures and just kind of seeing how they hold here going into tomorrow. So it looks like they're trying to work their way up here a little bit. So they're right over the 80 here tonight. So let's see how that goes into tomorrow. And then the IWM. Still lagging, right? Everything else in its 200-day, but it is holding its 8, and it did get over the cloud pretty decently. So let's see if that can try to work its way back up too. Jay, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Kev, you don't know if your message went through, but yeah, Amazon, DKNG, GAN, and Penn. Yep, we definitely checked those, so you're good. Jay, APPS. All right, so yeah, nice bullish engulfing candle, right? It's not really a bullish engulfing because it's not in the context of a reversal, but nice continuation move right there. It's working its way up to the 200. See if we can get above that. Defend. So looking pretty interesting right there. So we had some good, little doji right there. We had some good movement here the other day, right, on like LMT, but we pulled back. That's a 2-day pullback here, guys, right to the 200-day moving average. So watch your Lockheed Martin, right, for, after that's moved. NOC also pulled back to prior resistance levels. So I think those defense ones are definitely ones to keep an eye on tomorrow for a potential rally if they want to, right? So Malibu Boats, nice pullback to the ADMA, so see if that one holds, and PTLA. Portola Pharmaceuticals, yeah, that's just kind of hanging out there. So possibly in the context of a buyout or something like that, I probably wouldn't mess with it. So pretty neat stuff, or some sort of reverse stock split. But either way, I probably wouldn't even touch it. So good stuff. The Nest, yeah, SPCE, absolutely. So with the big launch of Tesla, right, this could get these space stocks moving, right? So, and I guess the Space Force too. Either way, double inside day. So let's see if that breaks the upside, gives you maybe a gap and go or something like that tomorrow. So, but a little tricky one to trade, not but could get some momentum off of the SpaceX launch. CLDR. Great candle earnings this week. I like the volume and I like the candle. DK. Okay, yeah, pulling back right there. Looks like it might want to come back here and test the cloud if that wants to get some more downside movement. And then SJM. Schmuckos. So that closed above the cloud. Good volume over a lot of good moving averages right here. It's got earnings coming up this week. So let's see how that holds right there on Schmuckos. So good stuff. Good. DA, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, my pleasure. Let's take a look. Yeah, Viag. This is a great one here. One of our members really did well on this one on a great swing here from these lows. Nice move out there. Doji day at the ADMA. So see if that turns into a reversal, or watch out for the Doji sandwich down. Twitter. Definitely all eyes on Twitter here, right? It looks like it finished up a little bit after hours. Holding the 21, but got blasted there by the president. So let's see if that holds right here. But still holding the 21, and let's see if we get some strength to the upside on that one. Cake. Nice, you like cake too, cool. Back below that downward trend line, so just be careful with that there. See, it needs more strength to get to the upside. AXP. Pull back right there to the ADMA. This is I personally, I prefer to trade like MA or V, but AXP can be interesting, but the spreads and the options have been a little bit funky. Purple. Hanging in there, right? This is just an amazing uptrend that it's had, right? Even through, after the corona. So it's a pretty good move right there after earnings. It seems to be trying to work its way back up to the scene of the breakdown up here, right? So see if it kind of tries to work its way up there as long as it continues to hold trend. FJTSY. Fujitsu ADR, yeah, interesting, right? So kind of like a cup and handle-ish pattern right here, range bound. See if we can get a good breakout candle on that. And then DKNG. Market's loving this one right now. Great volume into a big uptrend. So we'll see if that can get some more follow through to the upside. So good stuff. Yeah, it was a mouthful right there. And then obviously Shop. So shop, really cool stuff, guys. You gotta love this one, right? This was that. Remember we found this one on our when we did our harmonic discussion, right? So great drop down off this crab pattern, right? So but really you still can't lose sight of your upper trend line. Broke down below there, gave you a trend box, tried to hold down, but bounced off to 2.618, and now it's back in the trend box with an inside day and a doji. So let's see where that takes us going into next week. But it's super strong stock. So let's see what that does. Good stuff. Michael, what's going on? The riots, in Philly, I know, is horrifying. That was like one of the worst cities I've seen. Just terrible. I'm sorry, man, that all y'all have to deal with that. We had it here in Charleston, too, so it was, it's all over the place, man. This is crazy. Pray for peace. The Nest, NVTA. Really, really range bound right here for NVTA. So just keep an eye on that one and see if we can get a breakout candle, hopefully over the 200-day moving average if you're bullish on it. Utkarsh, what's going on? BAX. Baxter International. Yeah, great candle on Friday. Nice find. I like how it got over all these levels right here. And good volume. So let's see if I can get some follow through the upside on that one. DAAESE. Yeah, huge candle right there. Great breakout candle right here. Watch out, though. It couldn't close above this resistance zone. So just kind of keep an eye on that. But watch for the intraday action over those levels. And Michael, yeah, mad bullish on ZS. I know for sure. Just a great day on Friday. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple days consolidation. But if they want to, watch a breakout over the high end of that range or watch the 50% level. Right? Juan, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. TSCO. So Tractor Supply had a great day the other day, and it actually got some nice follow through on that too. So good move on Friday, decent volume. Let's see if that continues to work its way up there. So yeah, they had good news the other day. Good stuff. Michael, yeah, NVIDIA, great bounce off the upper trend line, so let's see if that continues to hold. Also good volume on Friday. And Jay, yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Then ask, could you go over your trading program? Would love to share more thoughts and get more experience. Yeah, well, I mean, you can always, jump in our group, right? And, you'll see more of the stuff that we look at, right? But generally, just look for bullish stuff, right? Stuff that's holding your trend line and look for intraday setups that are in the direction of the trend. And good stuff. Kev, yeah, my pleasure. Tracy, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. TGT. TGT, yeah, great move, right? Great move on Friday. Awesome volume. I love how it held this breakdown level right here. So just continue to keep an eye on TGT for bullishness. And then INO. Yeah, there we go. Nice inside day up. Good volume. Got over this old geometric level right here. So let's see if that can follow through the upside too. Good stuff. And then let's look at SPLK. Splunk. Yeah, software really picked up on Friday, right? You saw it work, a lot of these other ones, right? So nice candle here, good volume. Let's see if we continue to work its way up. Hit a new high right there. I'd like to see it close above those highs. But, little consolidation there. But looking good. Yeah, and Karsh, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Good stuff, guys. Great stuff. Yeah, Target is getting rocked. Yeah. So, yeah, it is this weekend for sure. But, yeah, so good stuff, guys. Well, really, KC, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate everybody. So, good discussion this week. We're going to be talking more about ABCs this week, so I think it'll be fun. Really appreciate everybody's chart requests out there. DA, you're looking at some penny stocks. Is it all pump and dumps, or can we apply patterns? Well, you can apply patterns, but to me, it's never been worth to trade it, right? There's just, most institutions don't get involved in the pennies, right? So you just get people, like you said, pumping and dumping. I mean, sometimes, occasionally, eventually, if there's a really solid name with a good business, a good name, right, and stuff like that, you might hold one as like that could potentially break out. We've seen that before, but if you're trading for cash flow, I think it's just too risky because you end up throwing in so many shares, and the spreads can jump. They could be like a penny, and then they could jump to 7 cents, and then you're all over the place. So for me, it's just working on options with good spreads. Tends to be the most effective. And it's like trading pennies anyway. So good stuff there. Yeah, Casey, I really appreciate it. Thanks for making it back. I hope you're doing well. Summertime, getting there. So yeah, and you're looking at Han Solo over here. Yeah, if you've got like a name like that you can't pronounce, like I probably wouldn't mess with it. Yeah. So if you can't clearly pronounce the name of it, it might not be a long-term investment. Yeah, LK might be a penny stock here before it gets delisted. So look at that. It is a penny stock now for sure. Crazy. Look at that flat inside day. Ugh, nasty. Anyway, good stuff, guys. Well, hey, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Looking forward to continuing this conversation tomorrow. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and also click the notification button so you can get notified when we go live. And be sure to check out the links in the description. DA, so how do you maximize the option spreads? I don't know. It depends what you mean by maximize, right? So you want the spreads to be as thin as possible, right? So if you're going to day trade it, right? Because otherwise you're all over the place and you're really risking a lot of stuff. So you want to look for names that have, tighter spreads and are more liquid, like SPY, for instance, is a good one to trade. We trade a lot of SPY. We used to trade more SPX, but the spreads have been crazy recently. So how do you maximize profits on large spreads? Keep your fingers crossed and hope it goes up. Really, large spreads are really risky. So some folks do it with swings, right? If they know, you don't trade it. You just don't trade it. Yeah, like AXP, you just don't mess with it, right? Because you get destroyed, right? Because if you have a dollar spread on it, what are you gonna do? Trade one contract and it goes down one contract, you lose $200 if you get stopped out on 1 point. You have 10. You have 10 contracts on it, you lose $2,000. It's just not worth it. So you want to look for stuff. If you're trading options, you want to look for stuff with better spreads, especially in the day trade, and very liquid, right? And stuff that's active. A lot of good names like Apple, things like that. So Apple's had some pretty big spreads recently too. It used to have nice penny spreads. So some of them are obnoxious, right? Because you get these big moves, like even like Triple M, Casey. This has been, this is typically a good trading stock, but ever since we've had the Corona crash, volatility's really got these market makers really scared. And they've been making these spreads big because they can't manage it, right? They can't manage the payouts on it, and there's been articles on it. So so that's one of the big things, right? So even Triple M has been difficult. So the only way to really do it is if you have a great daily setup and then keep your fingers crossed that it goes in your direction. Triple M's looking interesting right there. I'd like to see it get over the 200-day. Yeah, and Docu's been the spreads have been nuts, and it's such a cheap. Well, it was a cheap stock a couple months ago, but the spreads have just been crazy on it, unfortunately. So, I know oil. Epic run up, guys. If you guys don't think trendline works, we've been tracking this one for a while. Remember how tight oil got, USO and all that to this trendline, and then once it breaks out, you get confirmation. Look at that, it worked its way to the upside. Imagine that. So oil's been doing good there. It's good stuff. Yeah. So Govan, Netflix. Yeah, nasty pullback right there inside day. It's still below the downward trend line, so just be careful with that. Clubs, what's going on? SE, yep. Inside day the other day, so decent move after earnings, so it seems to be holding the 80 MA on that one. So see how that goes. Yeah, exactly with Triple M. Absolutely, guys. Cool. All right, well, good stuff. All right, everybody. Well, have a great rest of your evening. Great to see you, Casey. Great to see you, everybody. I hope everybody has a great rest of your one. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to click subscribe and also hit the like button, please. We love that. We appreciate that. And anyway, good stuff. I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning on YouTube and on Twitter on the Good Morning Market Prep. So looking forward to seeing you guys out. We'll see what they have in store for the futures tonight. So everybody have a great night. Stay healthy out there and safe. And remember your risk versus stay safe so you can stay in the game.